What's going on, everybody? We are back today for some Traitors action with a different co-host today. Jake, what's up, dude? Thank you for stepping in for Kristen today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, dude. It's nice to talk Traitors again because we talked season three and now to talk season four. I have been watching every single episode, so it's 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 been there's been some fun stuff here. Like I wasn't high on it at the beginning, but I think I'm getting more into some of the players that are left in the game. I'm sure we'll talk about them. So
Yeah, I was just about to ask you what your full thoughts have been so far because we did cover the last season on Tribe of Nerds. It was a good,
yeah,
fun season. One of my personal favorite duos I've watched so far, the Gabby and what the hell, Dylan,
Dylan.
and it
Yeah.
was awesome. Jake was always giving me crap. It was so funny. He's like, these two suck. And I'm like, yeah, they kind of do, but at the end of the day, they're the runners.
Yeah, I liked Dylan. I didn't really care for Ivar or Gabby or Dolores, unfortunately, so that's where it fell flat for me. And I thought the most entertaining player was Tom Sandoval.
Oh,
I thought
man.
Tom was just such a fun character.
No, you're 100% right. But this is basically the semis. We are coming to our finale of Traders season 4, and it's been something else, man. You probably can agree with me, probably disagree, whatever. I think this has been a pretty trader heavy season. The faithfuls, kind of are just a little lost. I mean, they got their shit together, but it was mostly because of trader on trader action that it kind of spilled out. I mean,
Yeah,
what's your overall thoughts until like the start of this episode? Like,
I mean I've thought since like early on, once I started getting into it and seeing Rob R's game, like I didn't have great first impressions. And then as we got further into it, I'm like Rob R's playing a really good game, and I actually really like him now.
yeah,
Like I thought his personality was showing. He's kind of funny still, and like he is into it. So I'm on the Rob R train.
yes.
So I'm excited to kind of see him win this because in my opinion he's played the best game. I know there's been comparisons between him or Suri, who's the best trader, and I probably agree with the comparison that Rob is probably even better than Suri.
Yeah, it's Cerie's competition versus Rob's competition. I almost feel like it's pretty similar. Like the people that Rob's up against are definitely clueless compared to how Cerie's people were. Definitely shout out Rob. I've been a big fan of him. We'll get more into details for sure as we go through this. Let's start off with who got murdered. So we had the two ice skaters, Kristen and Natalie, who
Yeah.
went to do the jack box, whatever you call
Yes.
that thing. And if a trader popped out, you're dead. You're out of the game. And I did not hit my weekly theory. I definitely thought it was gonna be an ice skater here, but it was Kristen. And as I alluded to, I definitely thought if it was Kristen that Rob's definitely gonna be trying to work with Eric versus try to throw him away. Because I felt if they kept Kristen in, she would obviously gone at Eric.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the murdered Kristen?
Yeah, I was a little worried for Eric because Kristen had been like so after him that would make him look more suspicious, but it ended up working out for the moment for Eric to not have her continuously throwing his name out. I thought Natalie was more in danger because I thought that they were going to keep the ice skaters to be the easy targets.
Mm-hmm.
But it all worked out in the end because they were able to put the target on both Natalie and the ice skaters. So like I ended up being a genius move for Rob and Eric, especially
Yeah,
Rob.
I will say the lunch or breakfast was in that enlightening this time, but let's go right into what Natalie kind of stirs up because it's a huge portion of the decision that just happened with Kristen, right? So Kristen kind of went to Mark and was like, if it's me, Eric is needs to be high on your radar, right? And let's be honest, I don't even think Mark, at least they don't show us. It doesn't even come out ever until the end of the episode. And it's so interesting that Mark never brought that back up. But Natalie is very onto like we need to rethink this game. Who can it be? And it ends up being the ice skaters and Natalie who all are coming together. And it could be Rob. It could be Loverboy Rob. Everyone loves Rob. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was very concerned at this point. Like, oh, is Rob actually gonna get his name written down all of a sudden? Like everything we built up, and all of a sudden Rob's gonna get sniped out of the game, or like people are gonna attempt to do it. And no, it just is people discuss to do it, and then turns out that they all end up distrusting each other, and Rob is able to like put the knife, the dagger in someone's back, and it turns out to be Natalie, of course, as we'll talk about. But
Yeah, I just can't. Like fast forwarding within the episode, it's so interesting to me that Tara and Johnny were like, it's definitely Rob, like, and then Johnny's even bringing up Eric, like Johnny's getting it in this episode. He 100% is pinpointing it. I'm very impressed with Johnny this episode. You can tell that it's taken a while, but I think the context clues are starting to open up with Rob, with at least to Johnny's POV. Tara, at this point, I feel like she's just saying whatever blows with the wind. I mean, she literally sounded like she had it, and then just absolutely like took the fishing rail out of the water and ran away like a lunatic. And then there's Natalie. She's like,
yeah,
we literally discussed this. We literally
yeah,
thought this was gonna happen.
yeah, I felt bad for Natalie. I'm impressed that as a gamer she managed to make it this far. Just because the gamers were very numbered
Mm-hmm.
early on, like they were getting targeted immediately. So I'm impressed that she made it this far. However, um, I don't know, like I think she either should have tried against Rob maybe a bit earlier, or maybe waited one more round and just hoped that they would try to split up the ice skaters at the banishment, and that Rob would use his dagger
Mm-hmm.
this round. I think that would have worked out better for her if she went either of the other two ways.
Yeah, so some of the facts of the right before the challenge. So we have Mark. He's kind of on Eric. He talks with Rob, and Mark's kind of giving out the facts. Like Eric's really sus now. He's quiet. Not really bringing up the Kristen conversation, but just bringing up his personal like agenda, and Rob's deflecting it well. The four kind of get together, him, Eric, Johnny, and Mark, and they talk about Natalie, and I think they're all pretty on point. And this is the other point where Johnny's like been 50-50 with me on this episode. Yes, he shined bright, but he also was very on to Natalie in this conversation. He's like, it could be Eric and Natalie in there. And which, I mean, it's really hard at the end of the day to look at four gamers being on a season and not thinking one of them are. So I kind
Right.
of understand, but I feel like Natalie has been doing such a good job of being or a faithful that I don't know, it's just interesting to me. Also, I do want to note one major thing that Natalie brings up that is probably the best pinpoint of the season. Like Natalie consecutively brings up, how am I still here? How the hell am I in this game? Like you should have murdered me. Like 100% last night I should have been murdered. But
Hmm.
someone has to be protecting me in there if they really want me here that bad. And I actually think that was a bad move on Rob. I think
Hmm.
that if this went the way that I was thinking it was going to go based on the Tara convo, that Rob might have been SOL. Natalie was
Yeah.
on, very on.
Yeah, it easily could have worked out for or against him as well, keeping Natalie in. So definitely probably should have considered it, but it ended up working out, and he didn't actually get any votes at the round table, which is absolutely insane. I did want to touch on Mark Palace.
Yes.
Mark seems like a nice guy. I've heard he's a Survivor fan. On this show, either they're not showing what he's doing because it's not relevant to the actual game,
Mm-hmm.
or he's not really doing anything at all. And like, unfortunately, Mark is the Ivar of this season for me.
Yeah.
I wish I was wrong. Like, Mark, if you want to come and tell us like why we're wrong, like by all means do it. But like my funniest moment is after they get rid of Natalie and you have the pool table moment with Rob and Mark. And like Mark probably thinks the pool table is like an actual pool,
Yeah.
because that's how he's playing on it. And like Rob's like, bro, we failed. It's like,
And Rob's like, yeah,
Mark.
bro. Yeah, Mark, it's so unfortunate because coming into the season, he talked so highly about how much of a fan he is of the Traitors. And I think it's just he's just on the wrong side every goddamn episode to the point where it's just making him an Ivar, right? He
Yeah.
he seems like he has the moments, like he has the people he trusts, he has the alliances, but at the end of the day, he's always like just the number, and it's sad. It sucks to see because he's very full of energy, and it sounds like he's a very good talker, but I think he's just so off that it's not more than Tara because Tara's just chaotic mess, but they just don't care to even show Mark because he's so wrong that they'd rather just show Tara's hot express.
Yeah, I also, because I mean, it's also a comparison with Quentin in season one, where I think someone that's so wrong every single time, and I feel like I remember they at least showed Quentin like most of
Mm-hmm.
the time, even though like every single take was wrong. And then here they're just, yeah, they're just not giving us anything from Mark. And like I've seen some of his like TikToks and
Yeah.
things like that, and so like he has fun with that stuff. So I feel like he would be a good personality on camera, and obviously what he did Dancing with the Stars. So like
Mm-hmm.
he's used to being on camera, so it's very strange to give him this purple edit.
Let's talk about Mara real quick before the challenge. What do you think
Yeah.
of Mara's game? Like I'm always so like 30-70 on it, 70%. She's just dimwitting through the season, 30% like maybe she's actually fooling us all and like she wants to get rid of Rob at the end. I
Uh,
like to lean towards the 70% just from all these confessionals we get from her where she's like, it's not Rob. Like, even though Tara just and Natalie just gave me the best evidence of the season, I'm still can't trust that. Like, it's Rob. Like, what's your gauge on Mara?
yeah, I'm with you on the 70%. I don't think she really understands like the Traitors game much at
Yeah.
all either. I think she's 100% aligned with Rob, and actually, I feel like he could murder her next. I feel like it's going to be Mark more likely than
Wow.
Mara, but I could absolutely see Rob being like, okay, well, nobody's going to expect it if I kill Mara because they would think there's
Yep.
no way I'd kill someone who's loyal to me, who's like vouching for me 100%. Um, so he could go that route, I think, and be fine, but I think he's probably taking Mark out, and then they're going to be able to go for the pair of the ice skaters because nobody's going to want to leave that in.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that in a sec because I definitely have thought of all four options for sure. The challenge is, again, another spot where Rob kind of shows his cards a little too much to Natalie. Like this is an actual episode of Rob just screwing up a little bit, in my opinion. The challenge, he's aggressively mad. It seems like somewhat towards Mark. I didn't take it that way, but of course I'm not there in a moment.
Right.
That he's just pissed he couldn't get fight for a shield. He's overplaying it a little bit. Natalie's catching on to the emotions, and then Eric ends up winning it, which I guess is good because Eric was a hot name the last, secretly a hot name on the last go at it. What's your thoughts on the challenge? I mean, do you think this is an overreaction from Rob, or do you think like Natalie's just pinpointing it?
Um, I think both can be true. Like I almost think like yeah, it's a bit of an overreaction. He's overplaying his hand
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. And Natalie, being a gamer, she's won Survivor. She's been on Amazing Race. Like she knows like these types of reactions by now, what they mean and how to pinpoint, who's lying and who's not.
Yeah.
And like I think Rob unfortunately just I think he just played a little bit too much with that reaction. And then Eric, like I don't know, like I thought it was interesting. I'd heard something like he was avoiding getting spun around. I didn't quite catch that, so I know there's been some level of controversy maybe that some people are saying he didn't have to spin. So I thought that was interesting. But otherwise, I mean, it was a challenge. I mean, I haven't been the biggest fan of most Traitors challenges just because like the more interesting part of the game for me is of course like the banishment and the murder.
Obviously,
So
yeah. Yeah, this is just the money grab portion for sure.
mhm.
I was very curious why they did the challenge when two of the six competitors weren't sitting in the spinning chairs.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. That's a little odd to me too. Like Eric definitely had a slight advantage of not spinning around and like getting out of the chair to
Right.
like be basically falling all over himself. I don't know. It was
Right.
definitely interesting. I kind of agree with it in a way, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, I guess. And like Eric got it, and he's safe there. Although knowing me, I'd have probably been very bitter about it if I was Mara and I lost to someone who hasn't been spinning for 4 rounds.
Yeah, I could definitely see you being pretty bad about that.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, fun challenge, not one of my favorites, but yeah, it was a nice battle royale type game. Um, I mean, we can jump into the after challenge.
Mhm.
This is where Tara kind of reanalyzed everything that she said at the beginning and kind of like, nah, I might just sit back and, let the other four talk this round, the round table. I don't really want to interfere. I want to keep my name off the block, which at this point, Tara, you're not hiding. I don't know who you're fooling. You and Johnny are public number one and two. Like, you should definitely go forward with this plan that you just had with Natalie. Although this Tara versus Natalie narrative has been going on for quite a few episodes, so I think at the end of the day, that's probably what got to Tara to go back on this. Um, but yeah, I don't see this, at least strategy wise. There's no reason to keep Rob another round if you're that sus on him.
Yeah, there's really no way you can hide once it gets down to like final six or final seven. Like at that point, everybody knows who's left. Everybody
Yep.
knows what kind of game everybody's playing. And generally, if you're still trying to play like that under the radar, trying to hide type of game, at this point, you're going to get caught, and people are probably going to vote you out. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's just no way around that, and you're honestly going to piss more people off probably by trying to do that. So
And Rob pushes the narrative here to get Natalie to basically everyone now. Everyone's kind of buying it that Natalie's throwing a vote on the Candace one. That she Natalie had a little bit has a little bit of sus on her from some of the actions. So Rob's doing a good job in that regard. Plan it on Natalie, get rid of Natalie, and move on with these people that you trust and that aren't gamers more so.
mhm.
Um, do you have any thoughts before we head into the actual roundtable?
I think that's pretty much everything I had.
Okay.
But yeah, I was nervous for Rob going in, and then when everything just started, shit started hitting the fan, then I'm just like, okay, Rob's completely safe.
Yeah, I was afraid for him. Then we go into the round table and it's awkward, and then I think Natalie's trying to get the ice skaters to kind of say the name. Like she's like I reanalyzed everything. Like we're thinking about a person that we never brought up before, and Rob's kind of like, oh shit, like here we go, and then Tara's like, nah, like I never 100%ed that, and then it just that was cracking me up as soon as she said I never 100%ed this. After when she was literally saying in confessionals before this, oh, like Rob's 100% one, like oh Rob, like I don't know, that shit was cracking me up how much she rebutted back on all this, and then Natalie, you seen her face. Natalie's like, what the fuck? Like we had a plan going in here. Now you're being sus as hell. So now I'm gonna go for you, Tara. Like
Yeah.
that was so funny.
Yeah, part of me is like, I know, Traitors and Survivor are two completely different games, but kind of part of me would want to see a jury in this case of like, because Tara would just get so like raked over the coals at a final tribal council for doing shit like this.
Like it, I don't know, just whatever. But Mara and Mark kind of are just on Rob's page. Rob kind of opens up the book on Natalie, and Natalie's taking it on the chin, trying to rebuttal against Tara, and it's just not working. Like Rob has the numbers, he has the dagger. Like it's pretty much game over for Natalie, and it ends up being game over. It's a landslide on Natalie. Um, fun. The fun part of all this was when Natalie looked at Johnny and said, "Don't say sorry. I don't want to fucking hear it." I was cackling
Yes.
so loud.
Yeah, I feel like that's like out of the Natalie playbook. Like she doesn't want bullshit at this point. Like I feel like if she 100% knows what's going on, like she doesn't want people to like. I also hate that in games too when people are like, I'm so sorry that I have to vote you out. It's like you're not sorry because you're trying to play the game and you're
Yeah.
eliminating me. So like it just seems fake.
Yeah, and it's funny when we remember at the end of the day these are ace skaters and actors and dancers playing this game and they just completely can't do it. Like it's so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, we end up getting Natalie gone. Natalie reveals that she's a faithful, and everyone and Mark's like throwing shit like a child, and it's so funny. I mean, Eric doesn't say a word, which comes back again to bite him after this. Mark's like, "Why don't you talk at all?" to Rob, and Rob's like, "I don't know. Maybe Eric's sus. Who fucking knows?" The ice skaters are noticing it, so Eric got a target on him, 100% right now. And Johnny's confessional right before is that he thinks he could be next. He thinks that it's Eric and Rob, and Johnny's kind of just hit the hammer on the fucking nail because it obviously is those two. And then we get to the the murder room where we'll talk a little bit now about the four options. I mean, the options are obviously just everyone that's left. We got Mara. We got, let's see, I'm thinking off the top of my head, Johnny, or the ice skaters and Mark, basically, making sure I didn't forget anyone. And these are four definite different options you could take. Like, I don't think there's one option here that's not off the table, in my opinion. Do you think that there's one that they are just not considering?
I really don't think they're considering the ice skaters because I really think they
Wow.
want to make sure that there's a target. Like I guess I just feel like it maybe I wouldn't be shocked to see one of them get in that box next week in the finale
Mm-hmm.
because they've had a target. They are a couple that needs to be split, but I really think because if you keep those two in, there's no way that anybody else is going to waver from trying to split them up because you can't let a pair get to the end of any game. We've literally seen it in Traitors as well. I believe season 2 you had CT and Trishelle, like you had two
Mm-hmm.
people from the challenge, like, and they won the game together, and like you can't have that. So
So here's why I don't like it. I see a lot of people saying it's going to be either Mara or Mark. I don't like he. I think you need to get rid of Tara or Johnny here, and the reason is if you're Rob and you're going to this final five after Mark or Mara just got killed, and you have two ice skaters there, that is just one number that you need to get flipped onto you.
right,
These two are
right,
100% going to be voting Eric or Rob here. The only way, if I'm confident and I'm Rob, is that if I know they're going for Eric over me at Final Five. Um,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
you need to get rid of an ice skater here, personally. They don't. I don't think they know that Johnny's on to both of them. I think they think he's like a little bit on the outs of it, but
yeah,
Johnny's definitely pinpointing it, and with it being an open vote, it's even more dangerous because Johnny could just call them the fuck out and then be bugone like Jam Jam was, right?
right,
Um,
right, yeah,
if you get rid of
yeah,
Mara or Mark, I don't know, man. Like Mark maybe is the one a little more than Mara. Like if you get rid of Mara, that's I don't know. I think that's honestly Rob's death sentence in a way. If you get rid of Mara,
hmm
Mark, I could see it a little more. Mark could be a flipper here in Final Five or Four. Um, I don't know. I just if I don't know. It's a risk. I mean, you get to Final Five and you have the two ice skaters. One of them's definitely a target, and you're gonna get rid of them. But if you keep Mark, like does he flip? Does Eric flip? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Do you want to keep the insurance of Mark and Mara on your side? That's kind of what I've been thinking at least.
I don't think Eric flips on Rob. I can definitely see the concern that Mark maybe would, but also I think Mark is so loyal
Loyal.
as well that he's also not going to. But I absolutely see your point. I think if Rob and Eric took Johnny out and left Tara in, Tara is still suspicious. So Johnny wouldn't be like a bad kill.
Mm-hmm.
So I see what you're saying because yeah, if you have a pair that makes it that far, they do only need to flip one more person. So
Yeah, and this is a very crucial one. Like it could bite Rob in the butt. Like it could kind of give Eric the game here in a way. Or the Traitors the game. Like it really or sorry, not the Traitors. It could give the Faithfuls the game here.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very interested to see it. I'm predicting that the confessional we got at the end of this episode is giving me a tiny flag that we're gonna see some fireworks right out the gate, and that Johnny's gonna be like, "These two assholes are the traitors," and then he gets carted off in the whatever. Uh, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna be shocked with any of them.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I think any of them could get murdered here. Probably not Tara. I think Tara's gonna be fifth.
Yeah.
I am shocked as hell if she gets past fifth.
Yeah. I don't see how Tara makes it past Final Five, like at all. I think out of everybody that's left there, I mean I don't know. I guess between her and Mark for who's played the worst game out of the six left. But at least Tara has an ally built in, whereas Mark hasn't really had any allies. He's just
Yeah,
been kind of there.
yeah. His allies were what is it, Kristen and kind of
Oh
Eric
yeah,
at the start, but then I think Eric's kind of blended in with Rob.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Ice skater. I, what I'm gonna assume is gonna happen. This is my prediction. It's gonna be the ice skaters at 6 and 5, and then maybe Eric at 4, and then maybe Mark at 3, and then they go to Mara and Rob, and then Rob wins. I think that's what I want to see happen. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, but that's kind of what I'm hoping.
yeah. I could definitely see like Rob getting done with Mara. That's a high possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think at the very least, Rob is going to end up keeping Eric to three. And then, yeah, if he decides that he wants to throw Eric out at three, then he can just do that and take the money for himself. Like, I think just because, like, if you take out Eric at four, then you're with Mark and Mara. Yeah, Mara's probably not turning on him anyways, but it minimizes the chance because I don't think Eric is gonna expect Rob to turn on him.
The only reason why I think at 4 it could be Eric over Mark is because I feel like Mark is sus on Eric to the point where he
Yeah,
does that, and then they jump on Eric there. Unfortunately, like Rob needs to blend in and
right.
work with Mark on that one. I
Mhm.
think that could happen. I don't know. That's just my theory, and I've been kind of having this theory for the past 2 episodes now, so I could be wrong. They could definitely murder Mark here, and then it gets a little murky. Although, if you do Mark here, and then it's Tara, at least at 4, you can just get rid of Johnny there. Or,
Right.
again, Johnny's probably the Mark in this situation. Johnny just throws it on, Eric. They get rid of Eric, and then maybe Johnny does again, tries to get Mara on his side. I mean, honestly, if that happened and Johnny was successful with Mara, I'm fucking doing that to Johnny because that's like a game flip. You just won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, that's high. That's high high percentile of not happening. But I could be wrong. It could get
Could
spicy.
happen. Yeah.
So I think we went over our predictions a little bit. I think we both agree that it's extremely highly likely that it's going to be like Mara and Rob at the end.
Hmm.
I think we agree that Tara's probably not getting to the final pit, and I think we agree that Mark or Johnny could kind of get there, and then Eric's probably getting to a final pit also. I think is that what we're on the same page with?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Rob let Eric go super quickly. I mean, he's obviously it's going to depend, I guess, on that final five, but I don't
Yeah.
see Rob getting rid of Eric.
All right.
So,
So I'm gonna punch in. It's either Mark or Johnny for this murder. Tara fifth, and then we'll see what fucking happens from there because it could be a shit show. But
yeah, I'm just hoping for a Rob win. I think that would make
yes,
everything
at the end of the
better.
day, I think we
So,
all here want a Rob win. I feel like a lot of fans don't want a Rob win, which is even funny. Funnier.
they're mad that he took out the housewives, which just being honest, I feel like this show the worst part about it is the housewives. I'm just gonna be flat out honest. People can get angry at that. You can cancel me if you want, but
Cancel, cancel.
the housewives are just really annoying. So
I think I agree, and I think Kristen does also to the fact that I don't think there's been like well, I don't want to say a housewife because I think there's been one housewife that has been good, but for the most part,
Phaedra.
yeah, for the most part, the ones on, at least on this season have been not very good. Dorinda,
Mhm.
like, I cannot believe she got brought back and did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that was a head scratcher for me. I think they saw her get how she got eliminated in season 3 of like, oh, she got eliminated first because she was causing drama, and they're like, okay, we could bring her back to cause more drama, and then she just did nothing. So
So yeah, I think that's a wrap here. We have one episode left. Again, Jake, thank you for coming in. You have some exciting projects coming up next week, so let's hear it.
yeah, so you and I, as well as Michael, we're doing Australian Survivor. We just had our draft that we did for that, so that should be dropping today. So definitely go check that out. It was a really fun draft, including a cameo from Dirty Harry with the ice cream truck.
So funny.
You'll know when you see it. And then Survivor 50. I mean, we've been doing preseason coverage and building up to that, so that's going to be exciting. Shane, Lindsay, and I will be having a Survivor guest or reality TV guest on every week to talk about it, and then obviously finishing our rewatch of 1 through 50, watching every season and talking about it, ranking them. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like the reality TV related content that we're doing.
yeah, definitely head over to the Tribe of Nerds podcast. You'll be seeing my lovely face in a few things. We playing Pokemon and currently losing,
Yes.
and
Currently, yes.
might be my fault, might not, but
It's fine. We'll catch up.
Jake's used to this. Uh, but that's it for us. Traitors episode 10, the semis is done. We'll be seeing you guys next time for the finale. Subscribe to both channels, and we'll be seeing you guys next time.